So I thought I'd put together a bit of a Smashbook session video. Whenever I post a picture on Instagram of my Smashbooks, or if I've had a little Smashbook session, I always get people ask, what is it and how do you do it and stuff like that. So I thought this would probably be the best way of showing you. When I sit down to do my Smashbooks, I don't really have a, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put this in here. Like, I don't have a plan ever. It's pretty much, I just lay the stuff out that I've collected over the past however many weeks in front of me, and I just see what works well together. Most of the time, the things that I'm putting together on a page don't relate to each other at all. Like, for example, that thing that I'm sticking down now is from a cupcake that my boyfriend brought back from work. Then the washi tape is obviously, that's completely unrelated. And then there's also a label that came from some jeggings. The main thing I focus on each page to kind of make it all fit together is the colours, and that's pretty much it. Sometimes I do themed pages, like the one next to the one that I'm working on now is obviously Christmas themed, and that I didn't focus on colours, it was just kind of making sure the layout will fit together more than anything, and that works just as well. I found that the more I Smashbook, the better I've got at it. Some of my first pages were, well, they're laughable. They're just pretty much just bunged everything on a page. I think that's the good thing about Smashbooking though, is that there's no order to it, so if you do something wrong or mess up, then you can just rip it out and redo it later. A lot of the time when I sit down and do this, I don't give myself a lot of thinking time. I found that the more I think about it, the worse the page looks. I just pick out things, look at the colours, look at the layout, figure out what needs to go where, and to make the page look busy and stuff, and I just go for it. I go for the glue. I'm not saying everyone should do it this way, but it just works for me. A lot of the stuff that I do Smashbook is basically stuff that I've got when I've ordered something, or freebies that you get in town, business cards, basically stuff that is too pretty to just chuck out, but I want somewhere to put it rather than just hoarding it. I was trying to make a bow here, but I just didn't like how it turned out, so I decided not to use it. Here I was trying to find a pink washi tape that kind of matched the logo on the thank you card, and I tend to use my washi tapes to break up the background and split up the page a bit and make it a bit more busy. It definitely comes in handy when the thing that I'm sticking down is big and takes up a lot of the page, so I don't necessarily have enough space to stick a load of other things on, so washi tape is definitely the go-to. The last thing I stick down here is a sticker to cover up where the glue went a bit funny. I moved on to my Smashbook Mini now because I don't like using up everything that I have, because I find that I might find something in a few weeks' time that goes with something a little bit better, so I just keep everything in little bags, little pockets in a drawer. This is my pen pal Smashbook, so everything that goes in here I've basically been sent from my pen pals or sent via snail mail. I actually added to this one not too long ago, so I was struggling to find things to put in it. Because this one is a lot smaller than the normal size ones, it does limit what I can do with the bigger things I get sent, and a lot of the time I do have to trim things down and overlap things to try to get a decent layout going on. I decided to try and find a place for one of these Ds that I've got. I got given my whole name in these cutouts from one of my pen pals, and then another pen pal sent me just one D. But because of the size of them, I've actually found it quite difficult to find a place for it. I get sent quite a few note papers and memos which I will split, so I'll keep some for actually taking notes and writing on, and then the rest I will put in my Smashbook drawer, which I use like here as backgrounds. If there's too many harsh edges on a page, I will use my washi tape to kind of dull them down a bit so it's less intense. As far as storing all my Smashbook stuff, I'm not the most organised at all. My Smashbooks stay on a shelf, and then all the other things that I collect throughout the week and stuff will just get bunged in a drawer, and they'll stay there until I next do some Smashbooking. This has to be one of my favourite pages that I've started on the left, not only because it's Minions, but the colours just go so well together, and I tried to get that other little guy to fit somewhere, but their eyes weren't matching up and it didn't match, so I stuck with my original plan of adding this little quote that someone sent me. Again, the quote is actually quite big and it fills the page quite a lot, but obviously the background's still quite empty, so I resorted to my washi tape. When I have a small area to work with that I'm trying to fill up, obviously the things that I'm putting on now are quite big, so I don't really have space to put on anything else on the page. But obviously I want it to still look busy, so I tend to overlap things as much as I can, which creates the layers and makes it look busy without loading stuff onto the page. Also, a lot of the time I don't actually finish the pages in the same session. I will leave, like this page here, I'll leave it and come back to it later when I find something that actually could fill in that tiny little gap at the top. I then moved on to a page that I'd started the other day. I'd kind of ripped up a bit of wrapping paper that someone had sent me to cover up some words which were completely irrelevant, and I chose to put this quote there because the colours kind of went, and of course a bit of washi tape to help with the filling up the blank space. I hope you guys would like this little insight into how I do my smashbooking and what I use and everything. Obviously, if you have any other video requests that you'd like to see, then please let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to get them done. But yeah, so that's it, and thanks for watching.